Real estate investing versus digital real estate investing. I want to talk about the differences. I want to talk about which one you should start with and my recommendations. And if I was starting over, which one I would personally start with, and a lot more on this video. We're going to keep it to the point, snappy, etc. My name is Nick Wood. I am the king of digital real estate, guys. And this is something that gets asked a lot online on Reddit threads. I see it talked about on podcasts. I see it asked in my groups and my free resources. Guys, these are very, very similar things. And what we're talking about is we're talking about real estate investing, right? Going and buying single family, multifamily homes. Think of a duplex, think of a single family home. Going and buying those, putting tenants in and making passive income, right? That's real estate investing, or real estate, not real estate investing. On the other hand, we have digital real estate investing, which is the same thing, but online. We're going and building or buying websites that are generating phone calls, that are generating leads, renting them out to not homeowners, but business owners for passive income every single month. In both cases, you own the assets. In both cases, you have complete control. In both cases, you're making passive income. These are two great vehicles. They go hand in hand, but they are different. And I am actively investing in both. And I want to talk about that today. So guys, I want to say this first. If you are somebody that money is not an issue in the sense that cash is not an issue, and you're just looking for ways to make passive income, right? You're trying to take your cash, you're trying to turn it into passive income, cash that makes additional cash. You have $50,000, $100,000, a couple $100,000. I would just tell you to go invest in regular real estate. Real estate, the thing I love about regular real estate, right? Houses, apartments, commercial. I have two single family and some commercial properties. I don't have a ton, but I do have some. And I'm actively searching, actively looking, actively buying. Even here in West Africa, I'm looking every single week and asking realtors, et cetera. The thing about real estate is it is tangible. And I'm talking about physical real estate. It's tangible. It is a structure that is there. Now, I have heard people argue that because it is a structure, because it is there, it is more scary because you don't technically ever own it, because if you do anything wrong, then somebody can come after you for it, including the government. So there is that argument, but I'm not going to go down that path. But because it's tangible, people like that. People like being able to drive past their property, say, hey, I own this house. That's something that you don't really get to do with digital, right? Yes, you can show a website, but you can't touch it. It's not tangible. So I will say this, is if you have money and you just want to dump it into something and you want passive income and it's not really an issue for you, then I like real estate for you because of that, because it's tangible, it's very safe, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But again, you could also still argue, well, what about if you go into the wrong type of investment and the recession comes, or what if you go into the wrong city? There's a lot of unknowns there as well, but I think people like tangible, so I'm going to recommend that. Now, real estate, actual physical real estate has an advantage that digital real estate does not. Okay, and I know some of you guys thought I was going to get on this video and I was going to take a shit on regular real estate. No, I love both of them. I'm actively doing both. I bought multiple properties last year. I have not bought any in this calendar year yet, but that's because I am in Africa and I haven't found anything that I want to buy yet, but I will. I love both. And I actually, in the beginning, back when I was young, when I was reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, my dad gave me that phenomenal book. I wanted to get into physical real estate. I didn't know digital real estate existed. I just needed cash and I couldn't come up with cash. So then, anyway, long story short, there's something that physical real estate has that digital does not, and that is this magical word called depreciation. And it is a very important tool that we can use to offset taxes. It is a very, very, very important thing. It is this one word, depreciation, is the reason I bought my latest property. I bought a townhome. Around a $400,000 property that I purchased in Utah, and it wasn't for the cash flow. It wasn't for appreciation. It was for depreciation. Now, in this video, I'm not going to get into depreciation, how it works, cost segregation, real estate professional status. I'm not going into that on this video. Maybe in future videos we will. But I do want to say that there are advantages that physical real estate has, and that is one of them. Okay, depreciation is a huge deal, and you do not get that with digital. However, if you are not somebody that is flush with cash, that doesn't have money to spend, that doesn't have money to put down on properties, and I know that some of you are listening right now are like, that's me. Go invest in real estate, okay? The rest of us, okay? Me a couple years ago, negative $60,000 in debt, looking to make passive income, looking to get out of my shitty spot, looking to just get out of the situation that I was in, but be able to have control and be able to scale up and be able to go on vacations and have time freedom and location freedom and do all these things. Digital real estate has advantages that physical does not. Digital real estate is very cheap to get into, relatively speaking. And so funny because people complain, it's so expensive. Guys, we're talking a couple $100 a site, right? Very, very easy to get into. You know what else is I love about digital real estate? It's very easy to scale, right? With physical, those first few properties, it takes a lot of cash. You put the first, maybe you buy the first one, you find a screamer deal, it's $200K, you put $40,000 down, you got to go get another $40K or wait until it appreciates and you can do a refi to get your money back out to go buy the next one. And then you got to go through all the paperwork, you got to do the title, you got to do the closing, you got to do that. It's a process. Scaling takes time. With digital real estate, I have seen multiple students go from 0 to 10,000 in less than 30 days. Now, I'm not saying that's the norm, but I've seen it. I watched myself go from barely making ends meet to doing $100,000 per month, paying off my debt, putting a pool in my house, buying real estate, just completely changing my life in a matter of 8 months. In one single year, I went from barely scraping by, almost ready to throw in the towel, to doing $1 million with this business model. So it's very, 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 very scalable. Okay. On top of that, what I love about digital, this is my last point. There's many, many things, but for the sake of time, the other thing that I really love about digital is you can build or buy property anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. If you live in Norway, you're listening to this video, you can come and buy property on the internet in the US. Now, obviously, it's not physically in the US, but you are generating leads in the US and you don't even live there. And that is very, very difficult to do for somebody that, let's say, lived in Norway or lived in whatever, right? You couldn't do that. And I know there's some countries you can't actually own property as a foreigner, but guess what? With the internet, you can. With the internet, you can. So guys, what I love about digital real estate is it's cheap to get into, it's scalable. Obviously, you have complete and total control, but you can build properties anywhere, right? Anywhere. It's low risk. Here's how the two go hand in hand. And I would tell you is if you're cash strapped or you don't have, you're not flush as can be, then you need to start with digital real estate. But here's how they work together is, for me, digital real estate is what pays the bills. Digital real estate is how I escape the rat race. And digital real estate is how I'm buying physical real estate, right? A lot of people listen to this channel. Maybe you have a job, you've been saving, doing side hustles, whatever, to save money to buy that first property, that first physical real estate property. I do digital real estate and my passive income accumulates. Those accumulations gather over time. I take those and I've used that money to purchase real estate properties in multiple states. They go hand in hand. Now, if you are somebody that is if they're flush with cash and you're like, you just want passive income. I've also seen this scenario where you're like, yeah, I'm buying real estate, but I want ridiculous returns. This is the last thing, and I almost forgot, is the ROI on digital real estate is so high. It is not even in the same ballpark. It is not even in the same ballpark as a regular real estate property, right? There's this term in real estate called cash on cash return, right? It's how much you put into the deal and what percent return you're getting on your money for the cash you have into the deal. The down payment, if it's the down payment, or if you had to pay for cash, what's your cash on cash return? Guys, the cash on cash return in this business model in digital real estate is so high, it's laughable. It's so stupid, it is laughable. And it's actually, in some cases, can be infinite return. It can be an infinite cash on cash return because you're not putting your own cash into it. You're using somebody else's cash. If you're following my model and you're doing a pre-sell, you're actually using their cash to build a property that you own and making returns on someone else's money, which means you have an infinite return. And I know I'm going a little bit deep and I'm going to go a little bit nuanced. I'm losing you a little bit, but this is why I'm so obsessed with digital real estate, guys. Digital real estate is the new rich dad poor dad. Digital real estate is how we buy real estate. It is how we escape the rat race. It is how we fund our lifestyle. And for that reason, and for these reasons, I am doing both, but I am using digital to allow that. That has allowed me to buy physical. And if you're in the spot you want to buy physical real estate, but you don't have the cash, this might just be the answer to what you're looking for. I'm out.